I am back, friends. Your nerdy makeup artist friend is here to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters because I am a super fan. If you don't know about K-pop Demon Hunters, the Netflix blockbuster summer success, this movie was so incredibly good. Art-wise, cultural-wise for the Asian communities. So I wanted to tell a little bit of lore behind the movie while turning into not one but two of the characters. We're going to turn to Rumi and also the Blue Cat Derby, while talking about the Korean folklores that happened to inspire this movie. So first we're going to turn into Rumi, and she is one of the three girls in the Korean girl group called Hunter X, who are Korean pop stars, singers by day, but also demon hunters by night. This movie plays so much into learning about the Korean culture because mostly we see Asian culture shown in films that's really popular, in movies that is centered around Chinese culture or Japanese culture. But Maggie Kang, who was born in Korea, grew up in Canada, went to college for classical animation, really wanted to see Korean culture come to light in animated films in North America. She's one of two visionaries behind K-pop Demon Hunters because her career began at DreamWorks, where she started the artistry for Puss in Boots franchise, Rise of the Guardians, Kung Fu Panda 3, Trolls, and Over the Hedge, among many other great films. She really wanted to put Korean culture on the map. Along with Chris Appelhans, who also helped create K-pop Demon Hunters, he is no stranger to mythology either. His credits include the movie Monster House, which was incredible, Coraline, which is my favorite, Princess and the Frog, Puss in Boots, Rise of the Guardians, and many more. But there's a deep connection between the K-pop Demon Hunters movie and actual spiritual women in Korean culture and shamanism. Because K-pop Demon Hunters opens with an introduction to the original three Demon Hunters, a trio of women named Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. The three in Hunter/X, the name of their group. This trio of women sing to reinforce the Golden Honmun to keep demons trapped. And their characters are based on actual Korean shamans, specifically the Mudong, who are female shamans. Mudongs serve as the in-between between mortal and spiritual worlds, communicating with spirits. They interpret with prophecies and guide the deceased. How cool is that? There are two ways to become a shaman, either through your family's lineage, as we see with Rumi in the films, her mother being from the previous generations of demon hunters, the Starlight Sisters is their group name, or they could be initiated like Mira or Zoe probably were. Maggie, who helped create the film K-pop Demon Hunters, wanted the mythology to be rooted in something that existed in actual Korean culture today. Because historically, Korean shamans are mostly women, which are kind of perfect for us. They were women, but they actually wore male garb. So when they were dressed, they kind of looked like men. Shamans in the Korean culture perform rituals called gut, which often take into account the individual's condition and fortune as a part of the whole, with nature and spirits and ancestors, and what that could do positive and negative effects in the life. Some ceremonies include practices, movements, song, storytelling, prayers, or maybe playing an instrument. One rite, for example, is done to cleanse the spirit of the dead people who cannot move on to the afterlife. A well-known tale associated with Korean shamans is the tale of Princess Bari, which is sung only during rituals held for the dead. There are so many different versions of this story. They all vary depending on where they're told, since some tales mention Buddha, others include other gods and guardians, but the version they drew from was created by the National Folk Museum of Korea. The tale of Princess Bari, also known as the Seventh Princess, or the tale of the Abandoned Princess, is considered as the story of the first shaman. While Rumi, the character in K-pop Demon Hunters, is certainly not the first shaman, she is the first demon-human demon hunter, kind of hybrid, mixed, which makes her story parallel to parts of the real Princess Bari tale, such as in the movie when the Starlight Sisters and young Rumi are caring for Rumi's mother's grave. Now, the story behind Princess Bari, also known as the Abandoned Princess, originated with a king and a queen who wanted to set their wedding date but were advised not to rush. They were young and restless. They ignored the advice and married off quickly. It resulted in the queen giving birth to not one, not two, but 6 daughters in a row, which in patriarchal societies is considered a curse, unfortunately. The king and queen loved their daughters, treated them well, but they still longed for a son. During the 7th pregnancy, the queen had an odd dream, and the couple took it as a sign that they would finally be granted a son. But to their dismay, the queen gave birth to another daughter. In a fit of rage, the king actually named their 7th daughter the girl Bari Degi, which means the one who was thrown away. She was abandoned but raised by an elderly couple who loved her for over 15 years. And one day, the mother and father, the king and queen, fell deathly ill, and they learned the only cure was the Yang Yushu potion in flowers from Xiuchan. Again, I may be mispronouncing, but it's the Western heaven, the realm of the spirits and gods. And the king asked his 6 daughters to go and get this potion, but each of them refused. So the king sent men to search for the 7th daughter, the 7th princess. And once they did, Princess Bari agreed to go and set off dressed as a man. She traveled through the realm looking for the flowers mentioned, and during her journey, she used a rattle to make sounds, cast spells to save the souls of those suffering and being tormented there. Eventually, she reached the gatekeeper of the realm, and he agreed to let her have what she needed for her parents, but she had to work with him for a time and bear him 7 sons. Princess Bari agreed, and after her time in the Western Kingdom, she returned home with the potion and flowers to cure her father, along with her husband and children. But unfortunately, when Princess Bari returned home, she came to the funeral of her father. Instead of giving up on her father, she interpreted the rites, threw open his coffin, and resurrected her father with flowers, and it worked. For her courage and bravery, the princess was actually made into a deity who helped the dead. She also became a symbol for shamans, and because of her association with death, her story is the one that's sung during the death rites. So what does Princess Bari's story have to do with K-pop demon hunters? Well, it resonates with the interpretation of Rumi, who ends up saving Jinyun's soul and helping him cross over. As she is half demon hunter, she emotionally straddles the same gap that Princess Bari did, physically between the mortal and spiritual world. While Rumi's parents in the movie of K-pop demon hunters didn't abandon her on purpose, she was left all alone in the world, but still did what she thought was right. The weapons in the K-pop demon hunter movie are inspired by Korean and Asian iconography, and I hope you guys enjoyed this look. The history and folklore of Korean female shamanism with the characters in K-pop demon hunters, and yes, it even glows in the dark. Rumi in the movie, since she is part demon herself, sometimes has these lightning-like scars on her face. They're so beautiful and make her different, but also connects her to the spiritual world. And now we interrupt this program because you can shop my closet on Poshmark. I have collected so many fancy clothes, props, accessories. If you're into creepy and cute looks, you could check it out in the link down below in the video description. Now back to our regular programming. On to the next look. Now, Derpy is a tiger pet of Jinyun's. He is based off of a Korean folk art style called Minhwa. This whole movie with the lore of Korean shamanism also features a lot of ghosts, goblins, ghouls. And to start off the lore in Korean culture, there's demons, I may be saying this right, the Dokabai, mischievous goblins that are akin to shape-shifting. They're tricksters and they're demons from hell. They are tied to nature and discarded items, and nothing like spirits of humans. Another type of spirit in the movie was the Molgushin, seen during the fight in the bathhouse where Saja and the boys summoned spirits from the baths. And Derpy is not the only demon or spiritual character in this movie. Unlike the Dokabai, who have bright faces, horns, and tusks, the spirits in the bathhouse had long, lanky hair, blue faces, and bodies. They were the restless spirits of people who had drowned near bodies of water. and they would also grab victims and try to drag them down with them. And now the faceless Guishin, which appears in the train scene in the movie, are also called egg ghosts. They're characterized by their lack of limbs. They have a faceless ghost trope, and sometimes in some folklores, these ghosts can also don other people's faces over their stone masks. Now, the Guishin in general are spirits of humans who are not able to cross over. This is what Jinyun, the leader of the Saja Boys, the boy band group in the movie, was originally, since he held regret and grief over his actions from 400 years ago. However, in their name and outfit choice, the Saja Boys are closely connected to Joseon Saja, which is the Grim Reaper of Korean mythology. There is such a great tradition in K-pop where groups change looks, and always in a fashionable, awesome-looking way. So they really got to bring K-pop aesthetic to historical themes and lore in K-pop Demon Hunters the movie. Now the Saja Boys are connected with Guishin. The Saja Boys are like the boy band group in K-pop Demon Hunters that the girls just oogle over. Think K-pop NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. But the Saja Boys are soul guiding types of figures similar to the Grim Reaper, except they don't kill anyone. They simply guide the good and bad souls to their destinations. The Saja Boys, when they are depicted in their long black hanbok, the wide brim hat, also known as the gat. In the movie, the demons were ruled by King Guima, who demanded souls to feast on. While he was purely a fictional concept, Korean folklore did account for the Saja to attack corrupt or weak souls. In Jinyu's case, his shame and regret were what made his soul weak and kept him as a Guishin. Again, the Guishins are the egg faceless ghosts. But the role of the female shamans, such as the Hunter X group, were to help purify and guide the lost souls. Sometimes they even stole evil forces away. So as represented in the movie, connecting to folklore, why the shaman tried to help weak souls and guide them through death. Derpy's face doesn't really come from any inspirations of Korean folklore and history. But the iconic duo of the tiger and his magpie friend in the movie was inspired by, meanwhile, the Korean folk art style, which was popular in Korea during the Joseon era. And this bird and tiger often appears in many popular meanwhile paintings. Tigers are a powerful symbol in Korea, even though the magpie bird that's sitting above looks to be mocking the tiger. Magpies are often positive signs, usually of good news. However, a six-eyed magpie like the one in K-pop Demon Hunters does not have any immediate folklore influences, but is loosely based on the three-legged crow, Samyeokgo, of Korean tales. This crow is considered to have great power as a representation of the sun and in some cases, in more highly regarded dragons. And dragon lore is run through so many Asian cultures, Korean stories, Japanese yokai, and Chinese celebrations. So here's Derpy. I hope you liked it. This was so much fun to do, an aesthetically pleasing, brightly colored painting on my face. If you're a fan of the Netflix K-pop Demon Hunters movie or not, I just love that they're tying Korean lore to animation and for many people to see and be inspired by. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Bye.